DESIblitz.com.
There you are. Now let's come up with a story.
I know what loss is. Your parents loved you so, so much. In a way, they'll always be here.
It's going to sound strange, but I'm having somebody else's dream.
I mean, we started shooting actually last year, believe it or not, and you know, it's been wrapped just before, you know, COVID-19. So we're kind of lucky that it all wrapped, but it was definitely a fun shoot, and as you probably know through the press, I mean, it's managed to do post-production through COVID, and it's releasing October 9th. I mean, I really respect Mike Flanagan, who's the director, and you've probably seen other films from him too, like Dr. Sleep, and obviously Haunting of Hill House, the first season. As you know, it's an anthology series, so I was very, very excited to be part of the project, and obviously being in the second season. And I just think the way it's shot, the cinematography, the way the characters developed, and just the overall story was just really, you know, exciting. So as you can see from Haunting of Hill House, so excited to see it coming out, and I'm sure the audience is too.
What dreams?
We're dead.
I've seen things. It's like I'm in hell. The people here, they're born here. They die here.
Essentially, it's loosely based on, it's a supernatural horror drama, and it's really based on this 1898 horror novella called The Turn of the Screw, which is by Henry James. And it really talks about, if you can see it, you know, it's going to be a young governess who's really hired by a man to look after his niece and nephew at this family country house called Bly Manor, of course. But as you know, there'll be some sort of apparitions that proceed to kind of haunt the premises, so to speak. So that tends to happen, and then obviously things develop from there. I don't say I'm a ghost. That'd probably be the easiest thing, right? Blink, you won't see me. I just, you know, it's something that's going to be pretty exciting, I'm sure, for everyone to see, as you know, and all the characters. There's quite a few that are going to be on there. There's obviously some characters that are coming back from the previous season as well. So while I can't talk about my character as such, I think it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing it all develop and unfold, even for myself, to see it all put together. So I'm really excited about that. and there's a lot of anticipation. But it's for good reason, right? I mean, they want there to be this opportunity for things to develop during the season. It's really based on the script. It's obviously loosely based on the novel as well. But yeah, I mean, really, once it's got the script, got an opportunity to look through it and follow the character. Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I think you've got such talented people, you know, in the cast. Obviously, Victoria Pedretti, who's coming back, and all these superb sort of actors, and I get an opportunity to work with and learn from, to be honest, frankly, as well. And obviously, you know, you'll see that we will kind of just bounce off each other as much as we can and learn off each other as well. And so it's an amazing thing, also, to see the vision as well from Mike's point of view and see how that sort of develops. And to kind of, you know, having watched some of his previous work, I mean, I was really impressed with, obviously, Dr. Sleep as well, but even just other work he's done in general and his style, really, really impressive. I'd say I was always interested in being able to create characters as I was a kid. But really, I think it first started when I was in a high school play. I was playing a Tony in West Side Story. So I got the lead role, landed the part. I went through a bunch of auditions. I always enjoyed singing. That I was doing since I was a kid. So I've always been into music and singing. I sang in the choir and performed in front of many people. But the one thing that I really enjoyed was when I did the play and the musical, was being able to go in and perform that and do it. And then after that, got, you know, really positive reviews. And fortunately, then also got an opportunity to work with the National Youth Theatre. I auditioned for them, which was encouraged really by my English teacher. He said, you know, you should really go ahead and audition. And I did. And basically, it was fantastic in getting an opportunity to do that as well. So I think that's when I sort of realized that I really want to pursue it further and be able to perform in the West End and so forth. I think there's been a lot of highlights. You know, I've had an opportunity to work with some very talented people, whether it's music or acting. I think one of the things is, I mean, obviously this is kind of a highlight for me to be able to be part of this big project and maybe just working with really talented actors. But also I've worked in the UK, obviously worked on some shows like the Bill, been able to do commercials there as well in theatre. I really got an opportunity to play Romeo and Juliet in the West End. That was really exciting for me earlier on in my career too, especially being South Asian and being able to do that. They, you know, the press had a field day with that because they're like, oh, you know, this Desi guy plays Romeo, right? So, and it was a lot of fun. But then also here in the US, I think one of the things that I got to do was obviously be part of a movie which is called The Birth Mother Secret. And that was really exciting because I got to play a doctor in this movie, and it sort of had to do an American accent as well, which is great. So I got some more variety put in what work I did. And yeah, so I think those have been some of the highlights. I also got to work at The Bold and Beautiful, which I know a lot of my uncles and aunties watched for a long period of time. When I was actually in it, it was quite funny for them to actually see, oh, there you are, like playing an architect, which I was playing in The Bold and Beautiful as well. So those have been some of the really good things. And just one thing that I did last year, which is kind of a fun project for me, was really being able to go in and work on a show called where you basically, it's a game show hosted by Anthony Anderson, and I got to interact with Russell Peters, and it was really funny. So I basically, I mean, you can look it up. I play a little bit of an imposter in this game show, and it was kind of hilarious how he was kind of playing with the fact that I was South Asian as well and interacting with him. So, but I really think that it's definitely down to that movie I did. It was really fun to play the Doctor role, which I've done in the commercials in the past, but to do it here and in the movie setting was kind of fun. I don't know if it's American dream right now, but I'd say more about the fact that you can get an opportunity to be in LA and be in Hollywood. So the transition really from TV theatre to, you know, film and TV, which is one of my aspirations. I mean, I love theatre, don't get me wrong. I've done Shakespeare, I've done other plays, and I think the element of having to getting an opportunity to play things live each time and change it on a on a theatre setting is great. But something about film and TV that always appealed to me, even when I was growing up, when I was watching shows and you know, being in a full set in that space. And that was really when I made the transition. I was like, well, here's an opportunity. Also, my music, you know, I'm doing a lot of mashups with my Bollywood to Hollywood sort of thing, where I'm mashing Western beats up with the Bollywood songs. Obviously, speak the language, speak Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, and so being able to put that together, singing an Elvis tune, doing that was really welcome here. I performed at the House of Blues on Sunset, which is a real privilege of my band. And it was, you know, obviously it's a different type of audience here, and the Desi audience here versus the UK. So I, you know, that kind of had an appeal over here. So I really reveled in that, and you know, moved to the US. It's as you know, it's Hollywood, so it's a different type of TV and film. Not much theatre compared to the UK, but loving it so far.
You know, if the whole world was watching, I'd still dance with you, drive highways and byways to be there with you, over and over, the only truth, everything comes back to you.
I think I always like to be able to bring an element of the singing. I mean, it's always performing. And I think that's one of my actual goals, of my dream, is to be able to be in a, if you like, think of La La Land, if you like, equivalent, right? Whether it's using some Hindi or not, but really using that element of, you know, the language skills I have as well. But that kind of project, even in Hollywood, like a La La Land type thing, where I'm using my singing ability, and obviously the acting ability would be my ultimate goal. So I don't know if I've used it as much, apart from musical theatre, which I did in the past, obviously in TV and film. But I think, you know, as much as you can kind of add some variety and skill sets, I always look up to people who can use their languages, their skill sets, the accents, of course, as well. And I think it's an asset to do that. So yeah, well, that would be a dream job. So I'll do a cover for you. So do Punjabi one. मैं तेनू समझावा कि ना तेरे बाजू लगदा जी तू की जाने प्यार मेरा मैं करा इंतजार तेरा. I'll do a Western song for you. Maybe I can do a Elvis.
Beautiful. That was very soothing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Yes, you can. I'm actually working on some collaboration at the moment where I'm looking to work more with people globally, especially during the pandemic. So it's kind of working with people virtually, but recording virtually. So it could be, you know, somebody who's in India or Pakistan, and just being able to look at their talents and then combine it with some of the songs I've got. So you should look forward to a couple of new EPs that are coming out from on my end. You've probably heard, you know, a couple of them that I've already done and shot here. I produced my own music videos. But definitely in the works. It's something that I don't drop even when I'm, you know, when I'm not doing my acting. I'll make the time to do the singing. Something I can't say if there's anything concrete, but there is some discussion taking place right now. Actually, more related to something that we're doing in Pakistan specifically. So I would stay tuned, and maybe you'll hear some good news if it comes to full fruition. So. I'm definitely desi at heart, I'll tell you that. So, you know, I'd say I love my chai. Okay, so I usually go to a restaurant, and the first thing I do is a restaurant that's opened up nearby, and I said, listen, if I'm going to be impressed, of course you can give me the chicken biryani and all that stuff, but I really need the chai to be perfect, okay?
Is it a particular type of chai? I mean, I love my doodh patti with sauce and ilaichi.
Yeah, I mean, I love my doodh patti. Don't get me wrong. I like the elaichi. I even like, a bit of cinnamon in there as well. So I'll make sure sometimes even a bit of ginger. So it depends on my mood, okay? And it depends if I'm singing. I like the ginger sometimes. But I would say, apart from the doodh patti, I do need it to be Yorkshire blend, Yorkshire Gold, right?
So you like your fusion?
What's that?
I said you like a bit of a fusion.
I like a bit of fusion, but it's got to be strong. It's got to have kick to it. So otherwise, there's no point, right? It's got to be karak jai.
Karak jai, yeah.
There's got to be that.
That's probably the right term. And two more things, Desi, about you.
Yeah. The other thing Desi about me is, I'm a fan of Bollywood too. So I'm a sucker for. It would say, you just love the Bollywood. Everyone's dancing around trees. Well, yeah, guess what? But I did fast forward to the songs rather than actually fast forward through the songs, because I was very intrigued by the song. So I'm one of those people who's nerding out over the song. The very Bollywoodish of me is actually watching that dancing and singing. So because I'm learning the song.
Any particular favorite tracks or films going back in time, thinking of some of the evergreen or classic films or tracks?
I'm a big fan of Rafi. I grew up, my dad was really into Rafi and Kishore, but especially Rafi. I pretty much knew most of his songs. He's got a lot of songs. So Chaudhary Ka Chand was always one of my favorites in classics. Tere Mere Sapne from Guide, another song that I enjoy singing as well. But overall, so there's some of the classics that are out there, of course. And so I definitely bust those out when there's time. And now, I mean, it's more Arijit Singh that I really listen to, and Arman Malik.
And one more thing, Desi, about you. Tell me.
Well, so apart from the music, one more thing. Oh gosh, I mean, it's got to be the fact that I absolutely love the whole Desi wedding setup and the whole Bollywood thing and the food. So if you ask me to go and sing at a wedding, it's always a sort of a joke in my family. It's like, oh my God, you'll probably end up doing it for free, even though they're getting paid for it. I was like, yeah, I would, because I just love the food. You bring the food to me. I mean, I'm a big Desi, foodie at heart. And obviously the whole glamour and glitz of the Bollywood, the fun aspect, the dancing and the singing. So that part of it is just very Desi about me as well. And obviously I speak the language. I do the Punjabi and the Urdu Hindi. So you'll see me busting out Punjabi songs more than even some Hindi, because I just feel it's true to my heart, it's my core, so. As I said earlier, with COVID-19, we're working virtually, so you've got to create. And as creative people, we try and be creative about the situation, and rather than just sort of sit there. And I think this, when you're saying, people I talk to say, oh, when things open up, I'll do this, and when things open up, I'll go back into creating this. I think this is it. I mean, you've got to be able to create and be able to differentiate yourself, and you have to work hard at it, and you have to be tenacious. And so what I do is I write. I'm either thinking about how to collaborate with other people on music. I'm also a host on Ruckus Avenue Radio, and I have a show called Bollywood to Hollywood. So there's opportunity to do this podcast like we are doing now, but really the music is something that I continue to explore and sing and do performances virtually now. And then some writing as well, which I've started on scripts as well, and reviewing those. As we open up, and we do open up, people will start filming. And part of what I do, and a lot of actors do out there, is self-tapes, right? We're recording virtually and sending it off to casting directors and stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing you can do, and be a little bit of an entrepreneur in this creative world, and sort of like just continue as best you can.